So, tell me how your trip to Guatemala went.
Okay. I've never been to Guatemala. It was my first time.
Okay.
And so actually getting to fly in and then go from the capital city west to Huehuetenango.
It's a long drive.
It is. It's a decent drive. They thought it would be like 5 or 6 hours, and it was more like 8.
Right.
So we got there in the nighttime.
That's Guatemalan time.
Yeah. But it's neat because you're actually with the descendants of the Mayan people.
Yeah.
And that was exciting. That was exciting to be with them. Most of them are speaking the language of Mam. It's M-A-M.
Right.
And they have the only radio station in that entire area, and it's Christian.
Oh, wow.
So what's neat is if anybody listens to the radio, they're listening to a Christian radio station. So they have all these songs in Mam, and they preach in Mam. There's other dialects. There's like, I don't know, 3 or 4 other dialects, but that's the one in that particular area. Mm-hmm. There's ruins there. There's all kinds of things in that particular spot. And it was Alejandro that I stayed with. I got to stay in his home, and they are such kind people. You know, she works hard, her daughter worked hard. They served us 3 meals a day, and you always had tortillas, which is a thick tortilla made from the corn there. And they're constantly, even while you're eating breakfast, you know, they have a stack of tortillas. Like we would make pancakes or something.
Yeah.
They've got a stack of tortillas, and they're over there grilling them basically on the rock and everything. I saw even the old way that they used to do it. They've been doing it since the Mayans were in that territory, the ancient Mayans. I saw the stone plate that they put over the fire, and they would make those tortillas on there just the same.
Stone.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
So they're still doing that over an open fire. I don't think there was a single pastor that I saw whose wife was not working over an open fire. You know, their homes may look like plastered, like walls and everything, but you don't know what's behind that plaster.
Sure.
Like they're saying it's
made
of adobe bricks.
Yeah.
Right. So they plaster it. Same thing in a lot of countries. They may plaster it, but you don't know what's behind it.
But it doesn't last pretty long.
No, it does. It falls apart.
Yeah.
But Alejandro is a great guy, and I'm not sure how old he is. He's probably one of the older men that I saw there. One of them. I saw some that were older that have been serving God for a long time. But Alejandro's got a good heart, and his wife's got a good heart. Yeah. And they really were generous and took care of me while I was there. Let me stay and rest in their home. And in fact, he's always telling me, we'd get done with something, he's saying, "Stay here, brother, rest." And I said, "I'm not here to rest, I'm supposed to work." But he would give me a chance to rest. At one time he did take me up on the mountain because I was asking him for some film footage of just the city, just to be able to see where he's at, try to see it all.
Yeah.
And then another time I climbed by myself up another mountain so that I could just get a shot of the entire area. The mountains are truly just gigantic over there. Yeah. Once you get up, you think you're looking at the mountain, but you're not. And so you get up that high, and then you look out and you see east, west, north, south. You just see mountains everywhere.
Right.
You're hidden in some valley, and you don't realize, again, how vast the territory is. Yeah. But it's all mountainous, and it's very hard to get around. Yeah. They'll take a 4-wheel drive vehicle, and sometimes you're on an incline that's absolutely amazing. It's just if your brakes go out, if you don't have control, a lot of people are going to die. I've seen buses, I've seen vehicles up there trying to maneuver around corners, and we actually stopped one time so he could just check the brakes and check brake fluid and things because it didn't sound right. They grow a lot of coffee up there. They grow a lot of corn, different kinds of corn. Mm-hmm. So some of the pastors are trying to do some of that, but a lot of them don't have the support. Most of them are just walking. You know, I met a lot of guys who do have a car now that they told me stories of walking just so many miles and miles when in the early part of their ministry. Mm-hmm. And it's all through mountainous terrain.
Sure.
So,
of course, when they go into the jungles, their cars don't work there. They still have to go on foot.
And this area is jungle, but as you go further north, it gets thick. And I've seen pictures now of one of the men I was with, Enrique. His family was a big blessing to me. And he's crossing the river, going to the jungle to visit. I can't remember the name of that, Ishkan, or it's a huge jungle that's just up north, and they've got preachers there. He sent me one of a preacher who's missing his leg, you know, and he's still living in the jungle. He's still ministering and preaching and doing what he can. Mm-hmm. But these are guys with great hearts.
Yeah.
And so I got to see several different churches. I got to see Enrique, even though he has been, he had a car wreck recently. He's had a lot of trials. There's been a lot of sickness in his family. He barely made it out of that. I mean, he had scars all over. His nose was busted up. And he's told me all kinds of stories. He was even attacked by some men, and he showed me the area where it happened for being up there and preaching the gospel.
Right.
I got to be there for the wedding of his son.
Wow.
And then spend some time in his home. His youngest daughter, she's like 7 years old. We had a lot of fun. She would teach me words in Mom, and then I would teach her words in English, and I taught her some words in Hindi. And so we had a lot of fun. She's sitting there, she was really talkative, and we would just have conversations. But he's got a neat family. A lot of them are out of the house now.
Yeah.
But some neat people, and he's on the radio, and he's working in the college. He's teaching. He's very busy.
So they have a lot of opportunities for ministry.
There are. I met a guy named Guillermo who I thought was a really good man, and he had a children's vacation Bible school kind of going on, and all these kids piled in, and he loves every one of them. He'd stand at the door and hug just practically every one of them coming in. They know their pastor,
Right.
and they love him. And then he jumps in the car and he takes me out, and we only had a couple hours, so he takes me out of town on some dirt roads, some real rocky areas, and up a hill to a church. And he sat in that church, just dirt floors and half finished, and told me about the burden to try to reach the people in that area. And this church is already being made for the believers there. And so they're trying to reach out, they're trying to go further out.
Yeah, we've been supporting their work for decades now, but they can always use more support.
A really neat story. I'll tell you this. When I was with Alejandro, we had a church service, and then some of the women came for like a prayer meeting, and they wanted to go up and minister to a family of a lady whose child was in the hospital, and something had happened. I know this child has some mental problems, and also she was sick, and I think she had crushed some fingers on her hand, and something had happened on accident, and this child was in the hospital. And so we went up, and they let us come into the home, and they actually had a mini church service right there. They sang a song. Alejandro gave something from the Word of God in their home, and then we prayed. And no kidding, right when we got done praying, the cell phone rings of somebody, and they told us within just a minute after that that she's getting better. She's going to be able to come home from the hospital. And so the next day, I think it was, we went there on a Sunday or something, we went up the hill again, just kind of winding through the property in the jungle, and got to see her, and we got to pray over her. She was home. She was home. Wow. Yeah. She was expected to stay there. Yeah. But as soon as we got done praying, they're all in a little circle in this home. Yeah. It was neat to see.
Oh, that's amazing.
And that's a good testimony for them.
Yeah, it is.
Even the man and the woman that are in that home, it was such a good testimony. Yeah, they felt loved by that church.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, that's wonderful. So they training a lot of young men.
Yes, in fact, a lot of these guys came in. I got to see about 20 of them at one time. He said, we're going to bring them in, and you get to meet all these guys. And so they came in and gave their testimonies in about 5 minutes each. And they all sat in this big room. And one by one, we brought them over to the camera, and they're looking at me eye to eye, telling me their story. And, some of them would tear up. Some of them would talk about this or that. There was one guy I interviewed that he told me, he's like, I don't have a car, I don't have a motorcycle, I don't even have a bicycle. And he said, I'm still going out there, and everything, and telling me, it's like, I'm not quitting. But boy, some of them have some major hardships. Yeah. And they live in very, very poor homes and don't have a lot. Those are the guys that are way out in the mountains that have to travel clear into a city or a market. Sure. And I saw the markets over there. I saw the really busy markets. Yeah. Of just kids running all over. And there was one pastor's wife that was at the market trying to sell the things that they make. All the women make their own clothes. They still have these giant looms that they make their blouses and their skirts. They all... You never see
so one they make of their own fabric and everything.
Yeah, they all wear skirts, these colorful skirts and blouses. Yeah,
this is the red and yellows.
Exactly. Yeah, a lot of pretty colors.
Yeah, wow.
And then some of them try to sell that if they can. Some of the women, the pastors' wives, will try to sell it. she made me a bag while I was there and gave it to me and presented me with this. A lot of them, they have this little bag that they can carry their Bible in. The pastors will hike all over with that bag.
Yeah.
And how many? We got like over 40-some pastors?
About 40, I want to say 42, 48, something like that.
I think it was 25, somewhere around in there, in just a very short period of time.
Yeah.
Met him. Yeah.
Well, that's a great work that Alejandro's got going on. And Enrique Domingo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
He's a really neat guy. He's corresponded with me a lot since I got back.
Yeah.
He had his birthday not that long ago.
He's Alejandro's computer expert.
he sure is. He's good at it.
Yeah.
And in his interview, he would talk about, I talked to Daniel on
Yes.
Facebook. He's like, on Face? I go on Face, and I talk to him.
Yeah. Yeah, it's nice that he can do that.
And nobody speaks English there.
Yeah.
I mean, there is nobody. It's either
no.
mom or Spanish.
Yeah. It's neat, though. Yeah, Guatemala's a real special place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty
That's
neat,
good.
pretty neat people. I'm sure there's more preachers that could be supported, and Timothy's that they're training that are
I
going
know
out.
that they are training. Don't they have a Bible college or something?
Yes,
Yeah.
I got to spend time in the Bible college. So really, yes, you've got men and women being trained there that are coming up and graduating. His son had just graduated, and the wife that he just married, they were both, I believe, graduates from the college. And so that they had the wedding right there on the college grounds in the church.
Wow.
They've got their own medical station there too. They've got a lot of neat things going, and really they're doing this themselves.
They're
You know,
very
they're building
industrious. 20 years ago, they had mom villages where they would bring in solar panels and old bus batteries and hook them up so they could have light at night. I mean, they're very, very smart people.
They did seem very intelligent.
They're very smart.
Yeah.
They figure things out.
Their buildings look good too. You
Yeah.
know, it's not like in some other third world country where you're in a mud hut. I mean, they've done a good job with the property. And really, that's the neat thing is to see them doing it themselves.
Yeah.
That's what's neat to see.
Yeah, they're really good. They're really good guys. They're real heart for the Lord. And This is amazing work.
Very true.
Privileged to have a small part in that, I think.
Right. Yeah, anyone who gives, anyone who supports gets to have a part in that. It's everybody, all of us working together. It's neat. It's neat to be able to see pictures or see video, and but to see it firsthand, I can tell you.
Even a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can tell you they're good guys. Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll see where you're going next time, right?
Right. Let's see.
All right.
All right.